Now we go ahead. That body is dead matter. Body is what? Dead matter. How can you know that? The soul leaves the body. What happens to the body? Body grows. When the soul is there, the body is acting like a car. When the driver is there, it is moving. If the driver is not there, it is not moving. Simple. You say, no, driver may be somewhere else, operating on a remote. But the driver is there. Remote, he's doing it through a remote. What's the problem? People will come out with funny ideas. I get all these things on my email also. People, because my YouTube, they are watching all over the world. So they come out with, oh, you said this, and this is, it can go out on its own. They are robots. You have to just train them. Who has to train them? A human? A person with a soul? Who designed the robot? A dead man? Oh, today they have made a test tube baby. So then who made it? A dead man or a living man? Living man. So, living man is due to what? Soul. So who made it? So simple. Is it not simple? When a dead man makes a test tube baby, then you say, oh, great. Then I would agree that matter creates matter. Otherwise, there is no example in the world where matter is creating matter. It is life which creates matter. So here Krishna is saying, the material body of the indestructible, immeasurable and eternal living entity is sure to come to an end. This body is sure to come to an end because actually it is dead matter, it is only moving due to us. That is the only. Soul is called Brahman. Brahman means which is spiritual. Now what is spiritual? Spiritual has got three qualities. In Sanskrit it is known as Sat, Chit and Anand. Sat means eternal, Chit means conscious, and Anand means bliss. Right? Now what is Sat? Sat means eternal, there is no effect of time factor. That's why when someone asks, when were we born? That's soul, in the concept of soul. So, eternity there is no born. But here everything you see coming and going, right? That's why you can't think above time factor. It becomes a problem for you. But when you raise your consciousness to a particular level, for me it is not difficult to understand that no, there is no beginning. What is the problem? What is the problem? There is no problem. I don't find it difficult. But yes, 30 years back I found it difficult. When I started on this, that's why I tell people, try to understand in physics also, the spiritual knowledge is also like this. In physics, when you are in the 8th or 9th standard, you are taught light travels in straight line, right? When you go higher, it is taught that light travels in waves. When you go still higher, you are taught that light is not a wave, it is a particle. And when you go much higher, it is taught that light is not a particle, it is a vehicle. Come on! And all this is what? Science! 9th standard, 10th standard, light travels in straight line. I still remember all that Ambra, Parambara and all that. Still I remember those things. 40 years back I must have studied them. And I still remember them, that how they used to teach us that, see, this light comes like this, there is a shadow here, and this is like this. Yeah, it is started. And then I went higher. It is not a wave. It's a particle. And then you go still higher. It is not a particle. It is a wave and a particle mixed. It's a vehicle. Now, Prabhu, is it all science or not? But which is highest? Vehicle. So in the same way, spiritual knowledge also. The higher you go, sometimes, but the basic concepts would not change. What is the basic concept? We are talking about light. Light never changes from the beginning to the end. Does it change? It does not. So in the same way, eternity, don't at this time theoretically accept eternity, mix it with infinity. Because infinity you understand, because you basically be moving into mathematics and all these subjects, so you understand infinity. If I ask you, what is the end of infinity? What would you tell me? Are you crazy? When I said infinite, infinite means no end, right? And then I say, if it is infinite, what's the beginning? You say, come on, there is no beginning. Because there is no beginning, there is no end. Because if there was a beginning, there had to be an end. So eternity means no time factor operating on it. Chit means conscious. Conscious means what? Knowledge. He is conscious of the fact. Please understand. What does conscious mean? If I pinch, you are conscious of my pinching. Right? That is what consciousness actually means. To know. To know. But sometimes it happens, because I was reading a question today only. This question has come out many times, that if something happens to our brain, then what happens that we don't function properly. So what is the problem in that? This is a machine. Machine can go wrong. Right? But that doesn't mean something has happened to the soul. Nothing has happened to the soul. The driver is sitting inside the car. It happens a lot of time. I know it doesn't happen here so much, but in India it happens. If someone hits you in the car, you say, "Mere ko maar diya, you hit me." So I didn't hit you, I hit your car. He got so attached to the car, he starts thinking he is the car. He says, "You hit me." Yeah, I didn't hit you, I hit the car. Where did I hit you? So, car hitting, the tire got bust, doesn't mean the man got bust. It was the car tire which was bust, not the person. So, nothing happens to the soul. So, Krishna says it is Brahm. Brahm means spiritual, bliss. See, first eternity. Krishna is trying to, actually, when I was reading the Bhagavad Gita initially, I was seeing that Krishna was not so much talking of consciousness and bliss. He was giving more importance to eternity. That the soul is eternal. In all the shlokas I found, he was time and again saying that it cannot be destroyed, it cannot be cut, it cannot be, fire cannot burn it, water cannot wet it. He was coming out with all these things that the soul is eternal. Why? Does it not feel so great that to know that I never die? I never die. I was there, I am there, and I will be there in the future also. It's a great thought. Because death, I used to think death like that. Initially when I didn't know about spiritual life, I said I'll work the whole life. In the end, whatever I have done becomes zero. What is this nonsense? But then I realized it not become zero. It carries forwards. It carries forward. And then I started seeing. I used to see the leper on the road. And I used to think, what has he done? That he's become a leper. And I'm enjoying. From my birth, I'm basically moving in a car. I'm seeing servants. Why is this servant working for me? What has he done? That he's struggling so hard. I still remember in those days, in 69, 70, the rickshawala used to come to take us to the school. In the heat of Agra, my father posted in Agra, temperatures were 48. And that poor fellow at 1:30 is basically, then I used to sometimes tell him, I'll drive your rickshaw to see how he would feel. I said, my God, this is really, and I'm enjoying. And what has he done? Because I started having full confidence that there is rebirth. So remember one thing, Sat, we are eternal. And as we are